All right, so comedian Bill Maher calling out Democrats for pushing this incredibly woke agenda in our classrooms, and he believes it to be outrageous, calling on somebody to answer for the indoctrination he used. This is like right-wing talking points. He is, this is like, he is real time on this. Listen to this.
So, we live in a prison yard in this country where just everything is tribal, and like anything to do with schools or education is something really the Democrats have to answer for because they control it. I mean, if you look at the Democratic convention, it's like 3/4 of them are teachers. My sister's a teacher. I'm a big defender of teachers, but what's going on in the schools is outrageous, and somebody needs to answer for it.
Wow. I mean, I never in a million years did I think that I was ever going to agree this much with Bill Maher. I mean, so for more on this, let's welcome in Executive Director of Speech First, Sherry Trump, and President and Founder of Parents for Defending Education, Nicole Neily. Okay, so I got both of you guys here. Sharice, I want to go to you on this. This Bill Maher thing is pretty profound. If this used to be their bailiwick, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of folks are starting to realize and understand what's going on around the country. A lot of universities and colleges and even the, in the public sector have gone away with a lot of different bad policies that intimidate students, that coerce them into following political agendas that they don't agree with. And now you're seeing, folks starting to realize this is actually a bad thing. This can actually come home and haunt us, in the professional world and beyond that.
Yeah, well, ESG is like a byproduct of this liberal woke agenda being taught in schools. And now, it's being canceled by places like Florida. Speaking of Florida, okay, so this is actually really crazy, Nicole. The AP course proposed all this stuff to the Florida Education Board, and DeSantis is like, his education board was like, absolutely not. We're taking all this garbage out. It's all indoctrination. So they had topics like this. It was a concerns on these AP African American Studies course, and they always name it something flashy like that. They're like, oh, if you're against this, you're against African American. No, that's not what it's about. It's about, they have a topic, 4.15, intersectionality and activism. And I'm saying that in a snarky tone because the concerns were intersectionality is foundational to CRT and ranks people based on their race, wealth, gender, and sexual orientation. Yeah, you shouldn't do that for education, right, Nicole?
Absolutely. Entities like the College Board have been getting away with murder for years because, frankly, too many education officials have been asleep at the switch. They have allowed things like this to happen. They have not checked the hyperlinks that they have put on their sites. And so now that Ron DeSantis' team is actually doing their due diligence and saying, wait, hold up, this is not actually real curriculum. I'm sorry, you can't get away with this. We're not going to approve it. Everybody's acting like the sky is falling. Frankly, what I want to know is why has nobody else pushed back or looked into programs like this before? Why does it Ron DeSantis? Because I expect every other Republican governor and its Board of Education in the state to do the same thing.
Yeah, well, Sharice, and the other thing too is it goes in here like Black queer studies. Okay, that was topic 4.19 of this new thing, and it was basically indoctrination. It was like we have to encourage and develop practices whereby queerness isn't a surrender to the status quo of race, class, gender, and sexuality. It means building forms of queerness that reject the given realities of the government and the market. What is that doing in school?
Honestly, I have no idea. I mean, look, we all know this is part of a political agenda. AP credits were meant to replace credits in core curriculum at universities to give students a leg up on their coursework, to prepare them for more advanced learning, and to save a little money. But this is obviously African American studies and critical race theory and queer theory are not part of core curriculums on university campuses. So obviously there is something nefarious going on. There's a clear agenda here, and students are, at the end of this. And I think what DeSantis is doing is setting an example for other states because, like Nicole said, this is something that states have the ability to do. They have not pushed back. There has been no real skepticism pushed onto the universities, but it's finally now we're starting to see that this is a great example that states can follow and learn how to push back on universities and higher ed.
Real quick, Nicole, I got about 30 seconds left. One of the other topics was the reparations movement, and it's all points and resources in the study advocate for reparations. The problem with this is if you're telling a bunch of kids, whatever race, gender, creed, religion they are, that they're a bunch of victims and they can't succeed without the government helping them up, who's going to succeed in that environment? That's not setting kids up for success, is it?
Not at all. It's not teaching students to think critically. Students deserve better, which is why we're grateful for people like Governor DeSantis pushing back, and we expect more of it as parents, as consumers, and as taxpayers in America.
Yeah, this list goes on and on. I mean, there's a ton of problems that they identified with this. So, Nicole, Sharice, we appreciate you being here.